People come here for the peace and quiet and the chance to escape the hectic pace of everyday life. Well, I've been to meet a remarkable man. He's a world champion in his own right, and he's determined to keep on living life in the fast lane. And I mean fast.
In the cut and thrust world of commercial banking, 44-year-old Mike Newman hates being taken for a ride. What he hates more than anything is being a passenger. And now he's preparing to drive a car by himself at 200 miles an hour.
Your station comes through.
Mike Newman was born almost blind.
And we can move forward with that when you're ready.
And lost all his sight by the time he was 13. But this father of two from Sale has always been willing to swap the confines of a desk for something a bit more dangerous. Back in 2001, Mike's daredevil streak led him to set a world record for driving unsighted on a motorcycle when he reached 89 miles an hour. And that's staggering when you realise the first time he'd ridden a bike was just 4 days before. Another biker acted as his eyes, conveying directions by radio. Mike's determined his blindness won't obscure his dreams.
I enjoy the success of breaking the records, that's for sure. And it gives you a bit of notoriety, I guess, which I enjoy. But I think proving to myself that I can succeed is the important thing, I think. People have different interests and different hobbies, and the blind people that I know have their own interests and their own hobbies, and they're very varied and different, just like anyone else. So I'm not sure I want to set myself up as a role model.
Well, I'm cruising low and I'm cruising Maine. Well, I'm cruising slow. My feet machine. You're my hot rod mama and you're really built for speed.
Not satisfied with 2 wheels, Mike learnt to drive a car, this time in just 3 days, and promptly set a new world record as the fastest blind driver, clocking nearly 145 miles an hour in a souped-up Jaguar. And that made him a pretty cool dad.
Everyone says like he's crazy for doing it, but why can't you do it? You know, it doesn't stop any other person like can see driving and miles an hour down the motorway. So it's because he can't see it. It's hard. I'm so proud of him. Really proud of him.
Well, I think he's like quite an inspiration to other people who are disabled, because it proves to them that they're not actually like stopped by what their disability is. They can actually do other things.
I think it's because he comes up against so many obstacles in everyday life. It's even to finding things in this very kitchen. We don't tend to make it very easy. Quite often we forget he can't see. Leave things on the stairs and leave the Hoover out, and you know. So I think that he's just going to push on really and get on with it, and I'm very proud of him.
This is the car that Mike will try to hit 200 in. It's an M5 sports car that's normally restricted to a top speed of 150, but the manufacturers have tweaked it and given it extra muscle. Mike would take it home with him, if he could.
I'll be driving it every day, and that'd be the difference. Hopefully I'd drive it safely and keep it legal, but just to have that ability to get in it and do what other people do would be marvellous.
This is the UK's 3rd longest runway at Elvington in Yorkshire. Originally an RAF station, it was the US Air Force which stretched the landing zone to nearly 2 miles to accommodate B-52 bombers during the Cold War. Now it's privately owned, and despite having to occasionally share it with dumper trucks, it looks like an ideal strip to burn a new world record.
Right, you're all set up now?
Fear keeps you keen and keeps you safe. And it's quite strange that the engine's running and I'm on my own, and it's just excitement and waiting to hear that engine roar when you put the accelerator into the carpet.
The car is loaded with high-tech satellite and communications equipment, but what gives Mike the ability to soar down the runway is his stepfather, a professional driving instructor with the same name.
Back from that. Yes. He trusts me to do my job properly, and I trust him to do what he has to do. It's never been a problem.
The two Mikes sit in the car for a few practice runs. Then Mike Sr. leaves to follow behind in a chase car, issuing simple directions over the radio.
Keep going as you are, left. Hold it left. Hold it left.
Obviously, it is inherently dangerous.
Yes, it is. It's human endeavour. There's no doubt about that. But what we try to do is to minimise the danger. We're on a runway. It's a controlled environment. There's no roundabouts, traffic lights, cars, kids, cats coming the other way, loose grit and gravel, fog, rain, ice, snow. We try to get that out. But once again, you have to remember the human element can always go wrong.
Brake. Brake, brake, brake. Thank you. Brake, brake, brake.
We've got a lorry on the track, okay? It's further away, it's quite a long way away, don't worry about it, but I didn't want to go down past it with us doing this like this, okay? It's some guys moving some rubbish, so we're just going to stay where we are.
It's when you hear the car going past the speed, it just takes your breath away. So I have to say, although I know there's an awful lot of safety checks, and that's a lot what the time is spent on, it's that brief moment, and when they hit those top speeds, I really feel my stomach clench.
It was good, and then it went back to really fuzzy and I couldn't hear. So let's try this one. It works, I hope. I can hear Mike. Let's see how we get on with it. Well, if you imagine driving down here yourself, and then you shut your eyes, that's what happens when you turn the radio off.
The record attempt is designed to raise awareness for a blind charity, and Mike's getting all the attention he needs. But it's the airfield which could let him down. The braking zone may be just too short. The car isn't quick enough to hit 200 and brake within the length of the runway.
We're going to go as quick as we can and see where it takes us.
And with time running out, can Mike set a new record?
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you give me a thumbs up, please? Over. So when you're ready, it's all yours. Over and out. Well done. Keep going. Keep going. You're on your tail, looking good.
How are you feeling?
Excited, it was fantastic.
On your first run, you were 21.52 seconds over the mile, which works out 167.28 miles an hour average, giving you an average of 167.32.
What's my peak speed?
Yeah!
There you go, matey. Hey, have a drink. Congratulations,
What was my
mate.
peak speed?
177.6.
Yeah!
Oh, he's done fabulously. That's really exciting. I can't believe it. He's at fast speed. I felt my stomach go when he went past, yes.
Well done.
You have an ambition, you have a dream, when you start to fulfil those dreams and it comes together, it's something that will live in my memory till I'm an old man.
Well, that's it for this series of Inside Out. Remember, if you've got a story you think might interest us, please contact us via our website. We'll be back in January. Until then, goodbye.
Next on BBC One, can Grant and Phil get Stacey to change her story? EastEnders on the way. A new series on BBC Two now reveals a Middle Eastern haven of fabulous hotels, palaces and incredible wealth. Go behind the scenes of the glitzy facade to find the reality in Dubai Dreams. And the latest news now at the top of the hour over on BBC News 24.
Our database lists every address in the UK without a